Welcome to this visual summary of the Cuebid Guide to Security Operations Center, 2nd edition, released in November 2025. We're going to walk through the key concepts and insights from the guide right here. If you want to go deeper, you can always download the full version at cuebid.se to really understand how a security operations center can strengthen your business and, help you sleep a little better at night. Okay, so let's jump right in. This quote really gets to the heart of the matter. The whole world of cybersecurity has flipped on its head. For years, we all focused on just buying the right tools, the right software, but that's just not going to cut it anymore. The real shift is from just owning technology to having the capability to actually see what's happening in your environment, understand what it means, and then act on it before it blows up into a crisis. Think about it like this. The old way was all about building walls, firewalls, antivirus software, things designed to keep the known bad guys out. It was totally reactive. But modern attackers, they're way more sophisticated. They don't just politely knock on the front door anymore. So today, what you really need is radar, a system that gives you proactive 360-degree visibility, one that's looking for unusual behavior, not just spotting old known threats. And that radar system, well, it has a name, the Security Operations Center, or as we call it, a SOC. Now, this isn't just another piece of software you install. It's a whole dedicated function, a mix of people, processes, and tech that acts as the nerve center for your security, watching over your entire digital world 24/7. So what does a modern SOC actually do? How does it protect your business from the kinds of threats that are out there right now? Let's break it down. First, let's clear up a couple of terms you'll hear all the time. SOC and MDR. It's actually pretty simple. Think of a SOC like owning a car. It's the whole function and you manage it yourself. MDR, which stands for Managed Detection and Response, is more like renting a car. You get the exact same capability, but it's delivered to you as a service by a team of specialists. So how does a SOC turn millions of digital signals into one single decisive action? Well, it follows this 4-step process. It all starts with detection, where sensors flag something that looks unusual. Next up is analysis, where the systems check that event against known threats. But then comes the really crucial step, assessment. This is where a human expert steps in to figure out if it's a real threat or just a false alarm. And finally, you have a coordinated response to shut the incident down. And why is that whole process so critical? Because attackers, well, they don't work 9 to 5. The hard reality is that 51%, more than half, of all security alarms go off after hours. We're talking nights, weekends, holidays. Without a 24/7 function, you're basically leaving the door wide open. A really effective SOC is built on 3 pillars. First, that 24/7 monitoring we just talked about. It's non-negotiable. Second, you need human expertise, skilled people who have clear, proven routines. And third, you absolutely need the ability to respond rapidly, because when an attack is happening, every single minute counts. The SOC itself has evolved a lot over the years. The first generation was really just a log collector, kind of like a basic security camera, just recording footage. Generation 2 got a bit smarter, adding active protection on devices. Think of it like adding alarms to your doors and windows. But today's 3rd generation SOC, it's a central, intelligent platform that connects everything, giving you a complete, unified picture of what's going on. Okay, so let's shift gears a little. We've talked about the technical side, but what about the strategic business value? Why should company leadership really care about having a SOC? Well, it's about moving beyond just managing risk and towards building genuine, long-term business resilience. And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this point. Cybersecurity is not just an IT problem anymore. A major incident hits everything: finance, brand reputation, customer trust, operations, the works. It is fundamentally a leadership responsibility, and a SOC is the tool that gives leadership the visibility and control they desperately need. And these are the threats that businesses like yours are facing every single day. Look at this. Nearly half of major incidents involve ransomware. Another quarter are direct intrusions, and over a quarter come from business email compromise. A modern SOC is specifically designed to detect the subtle, sneaky behaviors tied to these exact types of attacks. Now, for organizations all across the EU, this is no longer just a best practice. The NIS-2 directive is a total game changer. This legislation makes cybersecurity a formal legal responsibility for senior management. It's not enough to be secure, you have to be able to prove it.
And this is exactly where a SOC becomes absolutely essential for compliance. It provides the documented proof of active risk management, it gives you structured incident handling, and it facilitates that mandatory 24-hour incident reporting that the law requires. It's a very practical way to demonstrate leadership accountability.
So, this brings every business to a really critical decision. Do you build your own SOC or do you buy it as a service? Now, building it gives you total control, but honestly, it's incredibly expensive and requires very rare talent that you have to staff round the clock. Buying it as a service, on the other hand, gives you instant access to global expertise and that crucial 24/7 coverage, which really makes it the most efficient path for most organizations. I absolutely love this analogy from the guide. A great SOC plays two very different roles during an incident. First, it's the fire station. It arrives on the scene quickly to contain the immediate damage and stop the fire from spreading. But then it also becomes the SWAT team, the specialized experts who move in to meticulously investigate, neutralize the core threat, and restore full control. So, to wrap all this up, let's turn this into action. How can you start building your own organization's resilience? It really all starts with asking the right questions. Before you even start thinking about vendors or technology, you have to look inward. You need a really clear, really honest assessment of where you stand right now. What are your actual capabilities today? Seriously, take these questions to your next leadership meeting. How would you notice an attack right now? What happens at 2:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning? Who gets the call, and do they even have the authority to act? Who is ultimately in charge? And maybe most importantly, when was the last time you ran a digital fire drill to see if your plan actually works under pressure? The answers might surprise you. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most crucial takeaway. Security isn't a project you just complete. It's a marathon, not a sprint. A SOC isn't just a shield you put up. It's a partner in a continuous cycle of learning, adapting, and getting stronger over time. Every alert, every incident, it's a lesson that makes you more resilient for the future. To get started or continue your cybersecurity journey, reach out to Cuebid, your expert partner in communication, data center, and security operations. Together, we help you build cybersecurity from the ground up. See you next time.